If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
And vegetable gardener, I'm Joy Baird. We're going to start some herbs indoors and give you some information to make and help your seed starting herbs indoors more successful. Now, you want to start herbs about 6 weeks before your last average frost date. Now, we are starting ours about 8 weeks, so we're okay. Just going to spend a little more time in the cells of the planting tray than what they normally would, but that's fine. Some things you want to be aware of. If you're starting them in the peat pellets, about 4 weeks after they germinate, you're going to have to supplemental feed them with an organic fertilizer, liquid fertilizer at quarter the strength. There's no nutrient value in those peat pellets. We recommend starting seeds in grow trays, such as this one from rootmaker.com. They have a unique style. These are not straight walled. They are designed to air prune the roots, meaning no wraparound roots or root bound plants, which is very good. More roots means a happier, healthier, more vigorous plant. So we have filled this tray with a mixture of ordinary potting soil, starting mix, and compost we had brought in last fall. We kept in the attic and we're using it for seed starting to stretch the potting mix a little bit farther. Now, when it comes to buying potting mix from your independent garden center or big box store, we would recommend the independent garden center, and we would recommend buying the non-brand name. Preferably, what we purchase is the local store brand. Don't buy the name brand. For example, at our local independent garden center, you can buy the name brand potting soil mix, 8 quarts for like $14 or $15. 8 quarts, a little bag like that. It's got big fancy brand name on it. Or you can buy a 2 cubic foot bag at our independent garden center for about $19. And it's just the garden center brand. So keep that in mind. And at our garden center, typically the large bags that you would buy for the cheaper price is not with all the other potting soil. It's in the houseplant department. So keep that in mind. Look around. Just don't see the first thing and grab it. So with any potting soil mix, you want something that has a slow released fertilizer, meaning something that will release over the course of 90 or 120 days. That is so you don't have to feed your plants, though there is some nutrient value in that potting soil mix. And there's even more nutrient value in this situation where we have combined the potting soil mix and the compost, so it'll feed the plants all the way up to the time that we're going to transplant them out. When you're starting your seeds in trays, you want to push each cell down once you think you got it full. Either take a duplicate tray and set on top of it, or take a handle or your finger and just gently compress each cell and then top it off again. That will ensure that there's no air pockets and you can get a better root development, regardless if you're working with the Rootmaker trays or a party cup or any other type of seed starting device. So we're going to start a number of seeds here. Lemongrass, mammoth basil, Greek basil, lemon basil, oregano, Thai basil, rosemary, and this tray here is 5 cells across and 12 cells down or length. So I'm not going to show you how to plant each of them. You just follow the recommended rates on the back of each seed package. And if it says 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch and you get a little deeper, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine when you start your seeds. So I'm going to get these seeds started. Then we'll come back, talk about watering, lights, and when you should take them outside. So we got all the herbs planted here. And for those of you who have watched the videos on a regular basis, you'll understand what the paper towel's for. For those of you new, we use the paper towel as a form of mulch. It holds moisture in, and it doesn't allow the dryness of the air to suck out the moisture quicker than you can water it. If we left this alone like this, within 48 hours, the cells would basically be bone dry. We put the paper towel over top of it, and we gently water, and we also will bottom water, but we gently water to hold this in its place. And I'll show an example here of something that we use for our onions. You can see how kind of crusted over and not very pliable this paper towel is. That's what will happen here in about a day. It'll create a crust and it'll actually hold moisture in, and you'll water about a third as much as you would if it was just open like this. Now, again, we'll bottom water, we'll put water in the base here, let it wick up capillary action until all the cells are hydrated, and then we'll drain off what may be excess. But we're going to top water this, and then it will hold in. Some people say this is very wasteful. I look at it as being a couple of sheets of paper towels. Saves a lot of water being evaporated, saves a lot of time that you'd have to go water, and just water in general. So we can put these under the grow lights. You don't need to have grow lights, but sure makes it a lot easier when you have good quality grow lights, and they're optical to the light spectrum in which the plants are requiring. We grew many years without a grow light. We just had a west-facing window. We'd rotate the plants. They would grow towards the light. We'd spin it around and they grow back. South-facing is best, but a grow light is always good. You can see we have some tomatoes here that has been growing since March of last year, so 11 months now in 1 gallon grow bags from Root Maker. We've got some geraniums here, 2 lights up here. Didn't need to, just had 2 extra and we threw up there. You don't have to turn the lights on until you see germinating. So that these, one thing about herbs, if you don't have patience, herbs are not the thing to grow. Rosemary, for example, can take up to 30 days to germinate. If the conditions are optimal, you can probably knock that down to about 15, maybe 20 on the short end, and it'll work just fine. Some of them will germinate in about 7 days, so keep that in mind. Our lights go on at 8 a.m. and turn off at 9 p.m. So it's on a 13-hour cycle. Works fine with that. So just some things to look at, look forward to, try in your growing situation so you can have herbs in your garden much cheaper than you would buy at the grocery store or buy as plant starts. Thanks for watching. Join me again next time for more organic gardening. I'm Joy Baird, and this has been the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.